Did you click on this video because you wanted to make 2025 your year and wanted to know how to properly vision board? Cool. I am such a nerd about this stuff. I like making it pretty, so we'll get to that part at the end. But today's video is going to consist of like 3 major parts. Part 1, answering a list of 25 questions that will help you create the year that you want. Part 2, let's go back a bit. During part 1, I will ask the question and then I will answer it with my version. I have like 3 major goals that I'm doing this year, so like you'll see all of that coming up. Part 1 are those questions, my answers. Part 2 are like all my other little goals and little things that like I want to achieve this year. I want to have like a good list of those so that I have something that I can physically check off my list. Because my goal for this vision mood board is to make it interactive, something that I can print out, look at every day, cross off when I complete something, or like circle something when I like want to celebrate. I want a visual piece. So that's where we're going. So that's part 1, that's part 2. Part 1, to refresh, is the questions. Part 2 are the additional goals, my finalized list of goals. Part 3 is creating the actual mood board. We're gonna design like a mood vision board kind of poster-esque thing together. I don't entirely know what it's gonna turn out looking like yet, but I love like a maximalistic mood board style. I might do some research, put up my like mood board for mood boards. My 2025 vision board mood board is gonna be right here. If you're a designer, you get it. If you are aspiring to be a designer, make a mood board for literally everything. I make a mood board for literally everything. Pinterest is my best friend. If you're not already, follow me on Pinterest at Meggswoh art with 1 G. I'll just tag it below. It's the only thing that's not Meggs, WOH. All right, without further ado, let's get into the video. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm back. It's a few hours later, but let's do these questions. What are your top 3 priorities for 2025? Now, this might take some contemplation. Maybe you have to go through all 25 questions to answer this. But for me, my main goal for 2025 is to pay off debt. My second goal is to focus on my health, so getting my diet in check, starting to exercise more regularly, drinking less, you know, all the things. And then the third thing is I want to travel more. Like I want to go out, I want to see more things, I want to do more things, I want to have more fun. So those are my top 3 priorities in 2025. What is one habit for each of your priorities? So to pay off debt, I plan to pay my credit card before I pay my rent. That way I know how much I have to pay for rent, and I know how much I have to pay for I know how much I paid for my credit card, and everything that's left in the middle is for me to buy things like food and gas and all the other stuff, because it's not usually going to be very much. The second habit, is no alcohol at home. And I want to do this because I don't necessarily want to cut out alcohol entirely. I don't think there's anything wrong with drinking. However, I want to be more intentional with my sugar intake and my evenings, and drinking at home is not conducive to that. So that's my second habit. My third habit is for traveling more. I want to take $5 from any large sum of money that I get, whether it's a paycheck or something else, and put $5 of it towards traveling. Now, this is kind of like a 2-edged sword, because my goal is to save $75 each month, 50 for savings and 25 for travel. So it'll kind of work out to be about the same. That's why I put the $5 as the habit. I just want to be in the habit of taking at least $5. Like, that's not a lot, but it adds up. The third question is, what is a personal quality you would like to develop? The one that I wrote down is self-confidence. That's a weird one to say out loud, and it's a weird one to say out loud when you're creating a YouTube video, because you're like, well, duh, she has self-confidence. No, she does not. So we're moving on. What does success look like for you in 2025. And for me, I realized it's making most of my money from freelance / self-employed work, whatever it is, whether it's content creating, graphic design, dog sitting, I don't know, anything that I generate myself. I want the majority of my income to be that. What is one bold goal you would like to pursue this year? Mine is YouTube. I want to be consistent with this. I would like to start making income from it. I'd like to build a community. I'm excited as to what all of this has to offer and where it can take me in my career and all the other things that I want to do. How will you take care of your physical and mental health? I want to walk like a mile, just a mile every day. But the kicker is outside, in whatever the weather is, whether it's raining, it's windy, it's sunny, it's 1,000,000 degrees, whatever, 1 mile, at least 1 mile. I think that there's nothing better for your mental health and your physical health than just moving. I do yoga and I do that all the time, but I hardly ever purposefully go out in nature. So that's something that I think will really aid in my self-care habits. What do I need to let go of in order to move forward in 2025? Another one that took some journaling, like maybe an entire page or two to figure out like, what do I need to let go of? Like what is holding me back? And I ultimately decided my expectation of when things should happen. And even using the word should shows you that expectation. That's what I need to let go of in 2025 in order to like pursue the goals that I want. Nothing is gonna come easy. Nothing is gonna come tomorrow. Like I'm not gonna have 100,000 views on this. But if I did, that'd be sick. You know, I have the mindset of like, oh, if it's not good right away, then it's gonna be bad, but you have to be bad before you can be good. So removing that expectation of when things should happen. Who in your life supports your growth and goals? I'm lucky enough to say that pretty much everybody that I have in my life, that I spend my time with, support me and support my goals and support my efforts and support everything that I want to do. And that's like a really lucky thing to have. I know that not everybody has that. And it took me a while to get here and to feel that way. So if you don't quite feel that way now, no worries. But like figure out who it is, they are, whatever. And be grateful for them, maybe even tell them. But yeah. How can I add more joy / fun in my daily life? Fun and travel and all of that is in my top priorities list. So this is kind of fun that it like comes back and it's a question that feeds into my priorities. All of these questions do a certain bit, but this one does a lot. How do I want to add fun into my daily life? And I decided that the daily walks are going to be my source of fun. This one is, what is your financial goal? Obviously, it's to pay off the credit card. I'd love to save, and I'd love to like do other things, but my main financial goal is to pay off my credit card. What new life skill can I commit to learning? And for me, I put managing my money. I bought a financial planner this year. I'll show you. It says, finances, investing in my future. It's by that brand, Papier. Papier, is that what it is? I'll show you a flat lay of it and what it is. And I'm so excited to finally get my finances in control. You have no idea. It's been like 4 years of just chaos, just complete and utter chaos in my finances. What motivates me to reach my goals? I don't want to stress about my debt anymore. I don't want to like, when I get money, be like, oh, I want to buy shoes, and then be like, no, I should pay my credit card. How will you track your progress and celebrate your wins? Even if they're small, how do you plan to like celebrate the $100 in your savings account? Don't go buy something, obviously, but how? Like, that's such a hard question to answer. I ultimately said writing goals, that's a good way to track it. And then crossing those goals off, like physically crossing it off, however dramatically or aggressively it is that you want to cross the goal off, that's a celebration, and like revel in it and be proud of the fact that you've achieved a goal or a habit or whatever it is. That's why we're making our goals list later, so you can like cross it off. If you're me, it's cathartic. I enjoy it. What is your ideal work-life balance? Mine is being my own boss so that I get to decide when I work and when I don't. And then it's only on me if the work doesn't get done. What experiences or adventures do you want to have in 2025? I wrote that I want to leave the country. I have not left the country since I was in 3rd grade, and I think that that would be really fun. Question number 17. How can you be more intentional throughout your day? I think I'm going to delete the Instagram app and only download it and only use it when I am creating something or posting something, or it's during a designated block of time during a week. But I feel like I lose a lot of time through my day and then end up like here, like today. There were so many opportunities I could have been filming this, but I was on Instagram. What will you stop doing? What I want to stop doing in 2025 is going to bed without like brushing my teeth, taking my vitamins, doing lotion, like having a nighttime routine, having something that signifies that it's bedtime. I think not having alcohol like at home will help a lot with that. And just, what is one relationship you want to focus on improving in 2025? For me, it's female friendships. Like, I just don't really have a lot of female friendships. So that's something I want to that's something I want to work on fostering. I also want to have more fun with my significant other. We live together and we do a lot of things together, but we don't have specific fun. I know that I answered that as a 2-parter, but I'm passionate about relationships and I feel like I've let them go kind of recently. How can you contribute to your community? Honestly, my plan is to continue teaching yoga. I think that that's a really great use of my time and my energy. It's teaching me a lot. It's giving other people an opportunity to learn about themselves and exercise and all these so many great things. I also have an opportunity to teach a free yoga class, which feels like an even better way to give back to the community. As someone who can't afford to go to yoga classes, the only reason I go to them is because I work at yoga studios. And not everybody has that same luxury. So to teach a free one would feel like so good. What are 3 books you want to read this year? This was a hard one. I am not a reader. I've always wanted to be. There's one book that I love, and it's The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. I love that book so much. It's changed my life 5 different times. I will never stop reading that book. So in 2025, I want to read his other book called Turning Pro. I want to read a book called The Extinction of Experience, Being Human in a Disembodied World. It's about living in the society that we live in and battling things like this parasocial relationship, posting all of my life on YouTube and why I want to do that and just maybe exploring that more. It was listed as the #1 book that somebody my age needs to read. And lastly, Visual Thinking by Temple Garden with an I-N. It's listed as a great book to read if you're a visual thinker or if you're a designer or if you're just a little bit different. So I'm really excited to try to bring reading into my life. I don't know when I'll add it or where, but it's definitely something I want to try to do. What limiting belief do you want to challenge this year? Mine is that I'm not good enough or not something whatever enough. You know, I want to just challenge that. I am enough. I'm enough. I can do it. I have enough to say. I have enough experience. I'm good enough. I'm pretty enough. I'm fit enough. I'm healthy enough. Like whatever the enoughs are, I am, you know? How will you make time for self-care or rest? I'm going to schedule it because I won't do it if I don't schedule it. Technically, I'm supposed to be doing it right now, so that shows you how well that's going. But the daily walks are also self-care. So if that's all I get, that's all I get. And that feels like a win. Celebrate the small wins, back to before. What risks are you willing to take for your personal growth? The risk that I'm willing to take for my personal growth is this: YouTube, posting my life on the internet, being vulnerable, learning about how all of this works and feels. It makes me a little bit uncomfortable. What legacy do you want to build for yourself? Ponder it for a second. It's a really interesting thought. I want to build a legacy that is creative, that states I'm a talented designer, that I have a passion for being genuine and creating cool things that are unique to you and genuinely you or genuinely me, or just like, I don't know, that one was really hard to answer. The rest weren't that hard, but that one I didn't really know how to answer. I'd love for you to like create your own little list of answers and post it on Pinterest and like link it down in the comments, and I'll go check it out and maybe follow you on Pinterest. That would be really fun. The first goal that I want to work on is paying off debt. I want to go out to dinner once a week. I want to be more consistent with my workouts. I want to travel more. I want to work on my oral hygiene, meaning brushing my teeth at night, flossing my teeth more than once every blue moon, things like that. I want to wash my hair less and condition my hair less. I've been experimenting with it this month, and it's been looking really good and feeling really good, and I'm really liking it. I want to heal my gut, working on it. I want to do a monthly reset. So here is my little graphic that I'm working on for a monthly reset. I want to do this once a month, every month. I want to build a routine, preferably a nighttime one. I want to keep my space cleaner. So it doesn't look particularly disordered right now, but it's not great. I want all of this, the stuff that you can't see, to have a home and to be in its home most of the time. I want to walk smooch daily. I want to walk a mile for myself daily. I want to drink a gallon of water every day. No alcohol at home, no sugar, no bread. Those are like my kind of weird random goals. Not all of them are going to be able to be crossed out. Some of them are habits. Some of them are reminders that I want to see all the time, every day, but not all of them are goals. So now that we've done all of that and we've spent like an hour and a half talking about our goals, now it's the fun part. Now it's probably why you came to this video, making your mood board. I'm sorry it took so long, but let's get the computer out and let's get started. Okay, so I should probably start screen recording. Cool. We're gonna make like a mood board. I found this graphic that's already on the screen early this morning and was like, oh my God, I love that. And I'd love to create a poster like that and be able to sell something along those lines. So I'm gonna leave that there. Now we're gonna open Pinterest. Oh, look at that. We were already on Pinterest. How great. Love this deodorant. Literally bought the blue one today. Smells better than the pink one, and I didn't think it could get better than that, so just saying. Okay, saved. 2025 mood. So scroll all the way down to the bottom and you'll find the 25 questions that we did. And then here are the things that I've been kind of collecting. We'll start with something like this. So I don't entirely know what we're going for. I don't think I'm going to use any of these images that I'm collecting right now in the final product. So we might go and just collect a few of these. You'll still see the screen. I'm recording on my phone and there's not a ton of storage, so I'm only gonna record like a little bit at a time. Kind of weird, but I'm also going to add like a receipt to the mood board. I can never spell receipt right. Fuck. Just go. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I feel so under pressure when the camera's on. Not that. Water. Okay, well maybe we'll take a picture of a high credit score. Oh, that's kind of a fun one. Maybe that'll work instead. Hold on. No, not that. I like this one. Copy image. We'll go over here and we'll paste it over here. Okay. All of these kind of go with dish. You see what I'm doing? Okay. So now that you've gathered all of your inspiration, the next step is to figure out what you want to do with it. You can either do like an aesthetic mood board, put everything together and make a vibe and just have like that. I want to do something a little bit more graphic design oriented, a little bit more chic, something that I actually want to put on the wall, kind of leaning towards creating illustrations for each visual representation. And some of them are obscure, like you see the goose on here, like that one, I have to include something like that. I don't really know how I'm gonna include the like get my health in line, but we'll figure out some things. So I might keep gathering some inspiration. You might see some more inspiration by the time we get to the illustrating point. Well, maybe that's me deciding I need more inspiration. But the next step is to illustrate, and I'll show you the process on here. I wanted to make a boarding pass to signify traveling more and getting out of the house and taking flights, maybe even leaving the country eventually. So that's where the inspiration for this specific illustration came from. I am realizing that this video, well, not I'm realizing, I've already edited the entire thing and cut it down as much as possible, and it's like 45 minutes. Well, it's less than 45 minutes. It was originally 2 hours of screen recordings. So I cut it down a lot. I find them really interesting to watch the entire process. Please let me know in the comments your preference so that I'm creating content that we all enjoy watching. If you'd rather the music just be playing, that works too. I really want to hear from you, and I want to start a conversation in the comments, either about your goals, your aspirations, your desires, your habits. Excuse that's smooch. I don't even know if you could hear it. But yeah, let's start a conversation in the comments and let's hang out. I don't really know what to say else in this voiceover. These videos are already at like 700 times speed. So, So this was definitely a bigger undertaking than I originally thought when I was like, oh, I'm going to record a video of how to make a mood board or make a mood board with me. Originally, I was just going to paste a bunch of images together. But with the idea of trying to create things that I can use in portfolio or potentially sell, even though this is just for my personal use, I want to be in the habit of creating my own graphics and as many of my own elements to the projects that I make as possible. So I went with the tedious route, but it turned out so good. So if you're bored by this, like, skip through and just see the final product. You got a sneak peek at the beginning and in the thumbnail, but like, check it out. And if you want to know how I did it, then watch all of this if this isn't your cup of tea. I don't know. This video is so long. I'm literally watching it as I'm doing this, and I'm right here in the same spot watching the I find it so fascinating to watch back the way that like I scroll through Pinterest and scroll through things, especially at such a warped speed, because it really looks like I'm just like, ooh, this, ooh, that, ooh, let's do it this way, which I kind of am. I'm trying to have more like fun and play and freedom in my designing and my creating, and just going with my gut instinct and not like second guessing everything that I do, and developing like decision paralysis from doing too much research and too much preparation. So it's been kind of cool. The layout design part is by far my favorite part of designing. I love watching like the designs actually come together into something that I want to put on my wall or somebody else might want to put on their wall, but equally as tedious. Graphic design is probably the most tedious field ever, but it's so cool. Like, you get to make the coolest things ever. And how awesome is it that I got to make my own vision board this year? Like, I'm looking at it right now. It's directly across from my bed. What a great place to put it. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. As I'm watching this back, I'm like, how are you still looking for inspiration? And I guess that's just how my brain works. Like, I had one idea, and then I saw something and I was like, oh, that's way better. And I'm going to do the longest version possible, because I'm sure there's an easier way to trace all of these images. But tracing them by hand adds like a me element to it that, like, I don't know, Illustrator just, all the tools in the world, all the AI can't match. Like, the slight missteps here and the slight missteps there, that's personality. And I like bringing that into my design, especially as an artist first. I'm constantly like drawing and painting and learning and doing so many other things that I should be able to bring those into my digital work and my professional work. And the idea that I can build a career based off of solely my artistic ability and my creative desires, nothing makes my heart happier. I guess I should maybe touch on the obscurity of some of the graphics that I've created for this project, like the vase of flowers and the incense holder, for example. Why? Well, to me, that represents my monthly reset, like making the house pristine and gorgeous and what I like. And I love lighting incense, and I love having cut flowers. And they don't last very long, but they make me so happy. That's not on my monthly reset list either, but like, I don't know, to me, that's a representation of like a put together home. What's another one that's on here that's kind of weird? Well, I have all the food, like the avocado, the strawberry, the blueberries, broccoli. I even have like a weird citrus thing. It was supposed to be a lemon, and I kind of like how it turned out, but like back to what I was saying before of bringing myself into my art, that lemon really proves it. So this car is actually my car. Not the image, but like red, convertible, all of it. That's my car. It's my daily driver car. And it just has not been working lately. And I want to take more like small road trips, like up to the river and the mountains and stuff like that in it, and just be able to drive it around. So that's why it's on my mood board, front and center. I cannot wait to be able to drive that car again. I don't entirely know what's wrong with it. I mean, it's related to the alternator. But that's why that's there, if you were wondering. Okay, wow, I can't believe you actually made it this far. I feel so honored. Thank you for spending this much of your time watching me create a visual representation for my 2025 hangout. Let's see how many of these things I actually achieve in the coming year. Happy New Year, friends. And I hope this inspires you to create something for your New Year's resolutions. And I also hope it inspires you to stick around and watch my journey through the graphic design world, YouTube, and 2025. Happy New Year, friends.